I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I believe that Artyom Morozov may lose to Georgy Svetkov. Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Pradeep from ARMWRESTLING News, and today we will do some predictions for East versus West 8, which is on July 29th, and the timings for the event are 8 p.m. Turkish time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For Indian fans, it is 10:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So I'll discuss the order of the matches as mentioned on their website, the East versus West website. If you want to know my opinion, my prediction only about the popular matches, then please skip half of this video. Okay, the first one is Reno Masic versus Terence Opperman. Now that is going to be an interesting match. The only thing that will decide the outcome of this match is Reno Masic close to his prime form when he was banging with John Brzezinski head on. He was really strong back in the day. If he's back in that kind of shape, maybe he can do something against Reno, maybe he can even beat him. But I don't think he's back in that shape. I've talked with Reno personally, with Terence as well. And I've not talked about this subject with Reno because he also says that he's natural, and Terence Opperman is also a natural athlete as he claims to be. But Terence is older. For these older athletes to be natural and to still hang with the young guys, it's going to be difficult. And Reno is killing it. He finished second behind Ongarbayev in last year's World, so he's really good. I'm going to go with Reno Masic 3-0 in this one. Lachlan Adair versus Andrei Shiprunov. So at first it was Lachlan versus Michaelo. Mike had to pull out of the match because of some legal issues. He cannot leave his country. I'm not sure what those issues are. If you do know, please mention in the comments. Ryan Bowen said that Andrei lost to Bogdan Stoica, who lost to Ryan himself, and Ryan lost to Lachlan Adair. So according to this logic, he's saying that this is a mismatch. And I know that Ryan is never going to say that an Australian is going to lose a super match. I don't think he has ever said that. Maybe he has. Please correct me if you know of one such example. But still, I think if what Ryan is saying is true, and which must be true because why would he say it otherwise, then I think the gap may be too big. If Andrei recently, that was within 1 year, if he recently lost to Bogdan Stoica, then I think this match may be over. Lachlan is not that easy to top roll. Lachlan Adair, I'll give Andrei one pin for the benefit of the doubt. 3-1 Lachlan. Chan Shaw versus Oleg Petrenko. I think Chan Shaw is strong enough to do some damage in this match because yes, Oleg has been pulling for some time in this flop wrist position, but it isn't his one of his best moves. I'm not saying the best because it couldn't be. Only Jerry has this as his best move. But it is not one of his best moves. We saw him struggling so much when he tried to flop press against John, or when John took his wrist. So that's kind of his weakness, and Oleg Petrenko may definitely be strong enough to do what John did to him, but maybe Chance does not have the transition to finish the match. This match can look something very similar to the previous match that Chan Shaw had, and that one was between David Arabulli versus Chance, where the flop press proved to be way too much towards the end. I'm going to go with 3-2 for Oleg Petrenko in this match. Chance is definitely in it. He's definitely in it. I won't be surprised if he pulls it off. I was thinking that Oleg Petrenko is a way higher athlete before I saw him getting dominated by John Brzezinski. Not saying that John isn't that great, because he's easily top 5, maybe even number 3 in the world. Pavlo Darbediev versus Sandris Shedis. Now that's an interesting match. Devon said about this match that initially he thought that Pavlo is going to kill Sandris, and that's when Devon had a super match against Sandris. So he must have felt Sandris really easy. But then when he practiced with Pavlo, he said now this match is on. So maybe he was not that much impressed with Pavlo's strength. So that's why I think Sandris may prove to have too much experience, too much endurance, too much versatility to beat Pavlo. Out of the gates, Pavlo is going to be strong. I don't think he's going to get more than 1 pin. Gonna go with Sandris Shedis for the win, 3-1. Risto Risto, versus Mendogas Teresitis. So lots and lots of matches being planned and cancelled here. So Risto is the final opponent, and he has beaten Mendogas in the previous meeting that they had. And he's a bigger guy. He is bigger than Mendogas, slightly, not with too much gap. But I think forcing the hook on Mendogas with a surprise once in a tournament is a different thing, and to be able to do that multiple times, 3 times, I think it's going to be a problem. But Risto is also having a good king's move, so finishing him even if he is not able to set the hook can be a big problem for Mendogas Terrasitis. This one is close, man. There is absolutely no way that this doesn't end in a war. Even Mendogas is strong enough that if Risto is able to set his hook partially, he can stop him somewhere with a pronation. But man, I'm going back and forth on this one. People are saying Mendogas just because of his popularity, and Mendogas says that king's move used to be his nightmare back in the day, but it is not so much of a nightmare now. Now he knows how to beat it. But it's going to be difficult, man. I don't know what to say. Maybe Mendogas. Let's go with Mendogas 3-2 in a war. I won't be surprised if Risto wins this match. Justin Bishop versus Toms Rosace. People say, I've never seen arm wrestle Toms, but they say that he cannot be top rolled. At least you have to be like top 3 level in the world to top roll him. And even that is difficult. And Justin Bishop is a pure top roller. Is he going to be able to do that? I'm not sure, man. Those Latvians are strong. I'm going to trust their word. It can be said the same thing can be said about the Latvians as well. They are also going to predict their countrymen to win always. So their prediction cannot be taken into account. But I don't have anything other than that to go off in this match. I'm going to go with Toms Rosace 3-0 on this one. Elizabeth Ray versus Carolina Peterson. Elizabeth is brutally strong. She goes sideways with a lot of side pressure, and you can just see her, look at her. She's a physical specimen. Carolina Peterson, on the other hand, has a ton of experience. Elizabeth has been arm wrestling for like 2.5 years. I don't think that's enough to beat Carolina. So I'm going to go with Carolina 3-0 in this one because she has great endurance as well. And she can stop the match without her wrist as well. Wagner Bortolato, Farid Osmanly. Farid may be slightly stronger than Wagner. And he has that kind of press going on as well. Maybe he can top roll. I don't think he's going to top roll Wagner. But man, this one can also be a war. Wagner, Corey West. I believe Corey may be stronger than Wagner. And he barely won against Farid. So Farid was almost the same strength. I'm going to go with Farid Osmanly 3-1. Maybe Wagner can shock him with a flash press move. 3-1 Farid. Daniel Prokupchuk, Emil Shadian. Emil has beaten Daniel in the past. They do have a rivalry. And Emil wants to prove a point by beating Daniel once again, because Daniel has been creating a lot of waves in the arm wrestling world recently, and Emil believes that their business is unsettled from the past when they faced each other in Moldova, and maybe after that as well, or before that. But I'm still going to go with Daniel Prokupchuk with 3-1. Imagine this match being stuck in this position where Emil is like this and Daniel is like this, and he's struggling from inside, but from the outside he's laughing at Emil like it is nothing. But I think Daniel is improving a lot and he's getting bigger as well. 3-1 Daniel Prokupchuk. Georgy Svetkov versus Artyom Morozov. Now that is a big match. I might have to say I won't be surprised at all if Georgy beats Morozov, because Morozov has lost 10 kilos. When we see him strong as a bull, dominating Denis Shiprunov in the practice pulls, we have to remember that those practice pulls were recorded even before King of the Table. So that's already like almost a couple of months ago, 1.5 months ago. Now there's the problem. Now he's 122 kilos. Can you imagine? That's like baby Morozov. He's really skinny. At one point he was almost 140 kilos, about up to 137 or something. So now he just simply cannot have that kind of strength, losing that amount of muscle mass right before the match. And Georgy Svetkov, I know everyone looks unhookable against Jerry, because Jerry always loses his wrist, sometimes intentionally and sometimes unintentionally. But the size, the mass, the explosiveness and the commitment of going backwards that Georgy possesses, it may be really difficult to force the hook on him. And I've not really seen Morozov arm wrestle without his wrist. If his wrist gets cracked back even once in this match, I think it may be over. Georgy may be too big, too strong for him. And now if that was regular Morozov, then I would say he would slay him, just dominate him. But if he lost like 10 kilos and I'm not sure if he is able to train in this shape as well or not. Then that's something doubtful. I'll say if even he could very well have lost like 10% strength. If that's the case, then I don't think it will be possible for him to beat Georgi. And on top of that, if I say that Morozov wins, then there is nothing special to that. But if I say Georgi wins, then wow, I could be like, I told you so, I told you so. So that could be a bias as well. Georgi Svetkov for the win, 3-2. Jerry Caderet versus Hermes Gasparini. Now that is a big match. Paul Italia recently revealed yesterday that Jerry has also lost like 15 pounds or maybe 20 pounds. He had pneumonia. Now he's struggling with passport issues. His mind might not be in the place. And I think Hermes is going to beat him. And he's going to beat him quite convincingly. And that may very well end in a 3-0 scenario. But with Jerry, you always have to keep margin for that one explosive press when people think that they might be able to do something weird against Jerry by sliding their hand a little bit down or going in a hook or meeting him shoulder with shoulder like Devon did. And that's when that results in failure. So I do believe that this match can end bad for Jerry and also Hermes if he makes some mistakes. Jerry may still have some margin for error because he can stay there. He can stop you basically anywhere. He can stop you here. He can stop you near the pad. He can stop you with his fingers open. He can stop you anywhere in any position. But we cannot say the same for Hermes Gasparini. Hermes, on the other hand, has never lost when he has taken someone's hand. And he is going to take Jerry's hand. Not saying that he has faced someone like Jerry, but Jerry is also confident that he has faced many opponents like Hermes. But that may not be true. Hermes is not that far off from the peak of arm wrestling, which is Levan Saginashvili. He got 2 rounds against him. So I think it can be a good match for sure. I just don't see anyone winning this match fast. People are saying if Jerry catches Hermes here, it is over. But Hermes, Gasparini's arm is short and it is like really stocky, the big 20-inch forearm. I think if he even stops him here, there is a good possibility that he can bring him back. It is not like we have never seen that happen. John Brzezinski was able to do that back in the day in UL 2014 or 15, whatever it was. Michael Todd always used to do that, stop him here and then bring him back. So I think if those guys can do that, Hermes Gasparini may have the similar amount of arm power available to him. So I think that is going to stop somewhere, and I won't be surprised if Hermes pulls him back from this position as well. But margin for error is going to be small. The timing needs to be accurate. He needs to be fast off the go. He cannot be sleeping, and if the arm is like really down near to the pad, then it's over. Please purchase the pay-per-view, like the video and subscribe.